What's good, people? Not Manchester United. Clearly, not Manchester United. Welcome back to the channel. Post-match review for that game. You know, another game, another loss. And it's just getting a bit repetitive now, right? Manchester United lost again. I'll start off with the proper team, the home team. Bayern Munich 4, Manchester United 3. And if you hear that scoreline, you haven't seen the game, you're thinking, wow, that was a very entertaining game. That was a very, very good game. But my boy Tommy was summed it up, right? All 4 of their goals were beautiful footballing goals. Our 3 goals were just jammy goals, let's be honest. You know, last 2 goals were just by force, by fire. We did the same old thing that we've been doing lately. We start well, first 20 minutes, all right, cool. You know, we're looking all right here. We're at the Allianz Arena, and we're kind of holding our own. We're taking the game to them. We're controlling it. Bayern didn't look that strong initially, right? But always, same as always, you know. This time it's another mistake, huge mistake. You know, I'm not gonna skirt past it. You can't be doing that right now when everybody's looking for your head. People are looking for him to make a mistake. People are on his case. They're preying on his downfall. Right, you know, some would say rightfully so, because he hasn't really covered himself in glory in the first 5 games of the season. But you can't be doing that in this game, especially when you know you know your team, you know your boys, you know how things get when things go wrong. We're doing the same thing. We're playing well first 20 minutes, hold out, let's get the first goal and hold out this time instead of what we do against Arsenal and concede as soon as we score a goal. Anyway, he makes that mistake. Same again against Forest, same again against whoever it was, you know, that we've conceded. I think Arsenal as well did the same thing. Tottenham, we did the same thing. You know, you concede 2 goals immediately, you know, like one after the other. Your head's gone, or there's no concentration, there's no discipline. We concede 2 goals immediately after the other. Basically throw the game away after 30 minutes. Game over. And then at that point you're thinking, like, the same thing's going to happen as always. You know, they lose structure. Whatever the plan was, it's gone out the window now because they're not going to do it anymore anyway. We get a goal back through Højlund. You think maybe there's going to be something in this for us. Penalty, handball. I don't think it was a handball, but ultimately, you know, Ten Hag's been saying it outside of the games. You have to make your own luck, right? We can't be relying on VAR and all this other stuff to save us or refereeing decisions. We need to be just good enough, right? And we just are not good enough right now. Obviously 3-1, then it just goes crazy. You know, Bayern take off their players. We bring on Martial, who looked really, really good when he came on. I think he looked sharp anyway. And hopefully that's a good sign going forward. Maybe he'll stay injury free, be sharp, and be able to provide a lot of something to the team, because this team needs something. And what we don't have right now is quality players on that pitch. And I'll give the context in a minute, but what we don't have is quality players on that pitch, let's be honest. Then obviously, yeah, game goes all over the place. Lack of discipline, everything's chaos again as always after, you know, and we just kind of going gung-ho. And then there you have it, you know, you score a goal, 3-2, you think, oh my gosh, you know, maybe we'll even... I didn't really think that, okay? But any other team in the Champions League, the way Champions League football goes, you know, usually you think, oh yeah, it's going to be a crazy finish here. 3-2, hold your nerve, and at least for the last 10 minutes of the game, make sure that all that's happening is you are trying to go for that equalizer. Nope. Immediately, same as against Arsenal, same as against, you know, Arsenal last season. We love conceding straight after we score. We just can't stay calm. They go down the other side, score 4-2, and then we waste our time and score another goal 4-3. You know, finishing off the game. What's the point? You go to Allianz Arena, you score 3 goals, and you can't even get 1 point. Absolutely useless, disgraceful. Anyway, in terms of like wider context, yeah, cool. The team is struggling, right? We've got lots of injuries. If you look at the back 4, I think if you're honest, only one of the back 4 is, especially when you compare it to what the back 4 we had, you know, end of last season or even start of this season. Only one of the back 4 is part of our starting back 4, right? Martinez, left back Reguilon usually will be Luke Shaw. Obviously Martinez, yeah, like I said, Lindelof usually would be Varane, and Dalot usually would be Wan-Bissaka. Whether we all, you know, there's a debate whether that it's Wan-Bissaka or Dalot that's the better right back. Wherever that debate goes, right now, if they were all fit, Dalot probably wouldn't be in that right back position, right? So yes, the team is decimated by injury. New signings like Amrabat and Mount are out of the team. They're not. Amrabat hasn't even made his debut yet. We're struggling to piece together a front line. It was nice to see Pelestri start. He didn't really have much to say in this game, to be honest. He couldn't really get into the game too much. Ericsson didn't really give us too much. He got the handball as well, and people were going to blame him and say it was not for the handball, but generally across the team, across the game, he didn't really offer too much in that midfield. But overall, in terms of context, the team is decimated. But either way, it was a dreadful performance, and it's just not good enough. You can't score 3 goals in the Allianz Arena and not come away with anything. You can't be conceding straight after you score a goal when there's only 10 minutes to go and you think, you know what, we might be straight after you can't be conceding straight after you score a goal, yeah, and we might be able to get a point from this. Get your head in the game, Bruno. Captain, sort something out here. And ONANA, yeah, you shouldn't be conceding that. You shouldn't be conceding such a chance against when we're in the ascendancy. Maybe not ascendancy, but we're in the game, right? And you just give it away like that. Absolutely poor. One person I'd like to reserve some special mention to is McTominay. He came on the pitch, and when you compare him to I don't want to do this because obviously we all know McTominay's rubbish anyway, right? He's not good enough for United, right? And he does not offer us what we want. But he came on the pitch, and I watched him a couple of times, and the guy's not doing anything. He's not chasing back. He's not what is going on? He just wasn't doing anything. He wasn't defending. He wasn't offering up anything in that midfield, and it's a shame because this is a guy that came through the academy, and you think he had a bit of passion for the team, and that was his thing, Mr. Passion FC. He just wasn't doing it today. Don't know if he's carrying an injury, carrying a knock, who knows? But it was not good enough from him. Across the team, Casemiro as well. He scored 2 goals. I think I don't know if they gave him the second goal in the end, or his second goal in the end, but he scored 2 goals potentially. Big game Casemiro, but he hasn't been the best Casemiro that we would have liked him to be in the last 6 games, let's be honest. And speaking of 6 games, it's 6 games into the season now. I think we can conclude, or we can start to make conclusions, start to see certain not patterns, well, patterns yes, but certain things that we can just say, you know what, this team has XYZ or needs XYZ. And one of the things that we can say is this team right now is just not good enough. We need to either hope that someone like Mount, Amrabat, maybe Martial that is sharper, and Højlund as well, obviously looking really good, got his first goal for the club, amazing. Maybe, and then obviously we get Varane back if he can stay injury free. Luke Shaw probably doesn't come back for a long time, from the sound of things. But if we can start piecing the team back together, maybe that will change. But right at this very moment, United are not good enough, and something needs to change because we played 6 games, we've lost 4 games and only won 2, and even the 2 that we won, against Wolves, we could have easily drawn or lost that game. Against Forest, we were 2-0 down. So good characters to come back 3-3-2, but you're 2-0 down. That you're on the way to losing the game there. So I don't know, man. For this team, I don't really know what to say for this team because the next game now is Burnley, and no matter how well we do in that game, and I pray that we win that game because if we don't win that game, Burnley haven't won a single game right this season. So far this season. If they come to us and beat us right as a first game as their first game or first win of the season, it's gonna be absolute meltdown. And I think at that point you're then getting to the stage where the club's gonna have to start coming out with we back Ten Hag, we back him, because I think at that point there's gonna be lots of people asking for Ten Hag to be his position to be under consideration. I am definitely not anywhere near that myself, and I really don't like the fact that we're going through this cycle every time. Every time it seems that it's just a cycle. You get a new manager, we have that little bounce, everybody's happy. We're like, okay, cool, we might be onto something here. A period of time passes, the results start going bad again because the club itself is rotten, the club itself is broken. So there's obviously an issue, right? There's only so much a manager can do, I think, anyway. No matter how good the manager is, there's only so much you can do. And then things start going bad again. And then people start shouting for the manager to get sacked. And then, results get even worse. And then we have to sack the manager because it becomes untenable. Then you bring in a new manager, start the cycle again. So I'm hoping that Ten Hag can get through this bumpy patch. And I hope the team can get through this rough patch and really, really come out the other side of it properly this time. Ole said it himself. He hopes that in this Ole interview that just came out, he said it in there that he hopes that Ten Hag is successful and breaks whatever cycle, whatever curse it is that seems to be on Man United, but it's repeating itself. The patterns are there, And I said it earlier today to my friends, right? I promise you, stick Pep in this team, in this structure, in the United organization structure, and he fails too, because I think the overall box, let's say United is a box, the box is leaking, right? No matter how many nice things you put inside of it, liquid obviously, let's say, no matter how many inside, oh, it's got a huge hole in it, no matter how many nice things you put inside of it, you might be able to hold it for a little while, but sooner or later it's going to fall through the bottom because it's a soggy box or whatever, you know what I mean? You know, it's a bad analogy maybe, but essentially the structure is broken. So no matter what you do, I don't think it's going to be able to fix. Obviously, lots of people take responsibility. Everybody takes culpability here for their own actions. But ultimately, the box itself is broken. And ultimately, I don't want to be the, not looking at this game and the issues with this game, because obviously this game wasn't on the Glazers specifically. You know, they weren't playing the football game. There's those players on the pitch that didn't get it out together. It was that manager that didn't get the right tactics in play, couldn't get the right response from the players. But ultimately, in terms of a wider context, this club needs change. It needs huge change from the top. Where do we go from here? Burnley next. Let's see what we've got. I'm going to do a preview for that tomorrow, hopefully. Let's see how this one dies down. And yeah, boy, like we need to start winning some games, because with our win rate this year, shocking. 4 games lost, 2 games won. Welcome back to the Champions League. Thanks for watching as always. Subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video, and see you on the next one. Hopefully, positivity comes back to this team somehow.